Hey, this is Katrina here for another video. Today we are talking about website design strategy. Let's get right into it. So there are some overall important tips and tricks you want to keep in mind no matter what your industry is when it comes to website design. I am a digital marketing coach. I help with social media, design elements, and branding. Mainly, that's kind of my forte, but I do have experience in some other things. Today, specifically, we're going to talk about the design aspects of website building or website changes. If you have an existing site, you may want to redesign it slightly based on these tips and tricks that we're going to give you. I also provide digital marketing coaching for small to mid-sized businesses, even startups. So that's just something to keep in mind in case you need help. And it would help us tremendously if you could hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so you get notified whenever we have a post for you. Okay, so starting out when it comes to website design, obviously you need a homepage. Your homepage should be designed kind of as a catch-all for everything associated with your company. The first section of your website should have a clear idea, just in a few words, about what you do and what the value is. For example, our website, on top, it has information about driving traffic online through content, online marketing, things like that. And there's quickly a prompt to request information. You want to have one or more prompts at the beginning of your website within the design so that you increase the chances that people will contact you. If you wait until such a point where they've searched through their website quite a bit before they've gotten to your contact information, they may either lose interest or forget to contact you. We also recommend pop-ups at this point of the customer or the prospect experience as well. If you are able to add in some pop-ups on most of our sites that we design, we like to have a Facebook Messenger integration. So if people want to contact you there, it'll go straight to your Facebook inbox. It gets you a little bit more traffic on Facebook just by doing it because the app thinks that they're writing to you on Facebook. So it helps a little bit with organic traffic. That's another little fun fact there. Or you can connect it to a separate chatbot system, which has different types of features and can do different things for you. It really comes down to your preference and kind of what your audience is used to doing in your industry. We recommend a video at some point in almost every page, especially your homepage. And the homepage video should have a about you or steps and how they could work with you, or maybe a pricing guide or some kind of an estimate early on. If you're able to provide some kind of ballpark estimate, even if it's a large amount of, this many thousands of dollars to this many thousands of dollars, if that is something that you are able to do, it gives the prospect an idea pretty early on what they should expect to spend in a ballpark kind of range, even if it's hundreds or thousands of dollars. It will immediately eliminate people who have nothing for you, or people who are saying, well, I do have something to invest, but maybe it's outside of my budget. If they see that and they say, okay, well, it's within my budget range, or it might be on the lower end, but I'm still there, at least it still qualifies or disqualifies them at that point. And it's going to save you a lot of people from contacting you in the first place who probably shouldn't be. So that's something to keep in mind. Pretty early on, we make note of our ideal clients as well. For that reason, somewhere on the homepage, we put ideal clients or types of industries that we focus on our website, on other people's websites that we will, design and manage, because we want to be upfront and honest who our ideal client is. Doesn't mean we can't service them. They're still welcome to call. Maybe they don't see it and they'll call anyway, but at least it puts that right front and center, who we are able to help the most, right? All while keeping in mind, all these design things are important, but they need to function also as keywords. We have libraries and libraries of content about search engine optimization and about keywording that you may want to look at, but this is just the design. That's just something to keep in mind is, when you're designing it, keywords, matter to all this. You also want to be very consistent with the color branding throughout. You don't want to use red here and blue here and magenta there. It all needs to correlate to your logos and your banners. You want a consistent brand image with your colors, the kinds of fonts you're using, the style you're using. Don't just kind of reinvent the wheel each time to see what you like or what your audience likes. Come up with a clear brand image and build an audience around that, something that makes sense to your brand, is easy enough to replicate, and something that you could at least stand seeing. It's about our audience and what they want, but we have to also enjoy the process and like what we see too, right? It's a mix. Those are some things to keep in mind. Your homepage is probably going to be longer in terms of design than some of your other sections because it is a catch-all of information. And besides that, you want a website that probably has about 4 to 5 pages at least, if not more. I would say 5 pages starting out makes the most sense, and then expanding from there. You want to have sub pages with specific information. Keep in mind, again, people are going to be looking at that top area, and they're going to make a decision to click on based on what words they're looking for in their head. So we don't just have a blanket area for services because that would really limit us. We have people that are specifically looking for social media, SEO, things like that. So we have separate pages and sub pages within there that people could go to just to focus on the things that they want to see. And it helps us drive traffic to our website in different ways, try different types of content that we link there, all kinds of good stuff like that. And for example, for other companies that we service, like cleaning companies, we may have separate sections for pressure washing, soft washing, or roofing, or what have you, pest control, lawn care versus something else. You know, everything has its own area, and that helps Google also to understand all these different things that you do, and it helps categorize information to them. It's the long-term game. It is easier to rank for something that's much more smaller and streamlined, but you're only going to rank in certain keywords in very defined areas. And unless you are a hyper specialist within a specialist, think of a heart surgeon that specializes in your people who've had surgery more than once. Well, that's really specific, right? Because you have doctors, and then you have surgeons, and then you have heart surgeons, and then you have heart surgeons that are able to operate on somebody that's been operated on before with a high success rate or something. You know, so unless it's a very, very niche kind of thing, it's going to be hard to rank without having these different design elements and keywords. So hopefully that made sense. If you'd like for me to elaborate, please put a comment below or send us an email, what have you. We're always happy to help. However you want to reach out, you're welcome to. Okay, other things to keep in mind. You want social media buttons on your website. The design needs to be clear. It's a social media button. You click on it, you go to social media pages. Some people don't like that because people are clicking off of your website, but I like the idea of people seeing your social content. If you keep it up to date, it shows a certain level of brand authority. It might give them other information, extra incentives. And again, it's just a way for them to connect with your brand. It answers questions so that you don't have to quite as much over the phone. You can just kind of focus on helping their needs and maybe converting them into a sale. So I like that idea, but I'm biased. I have a social media background. You may not want to have your social media buttons as prominent for that reason, but at least have it in the footer somewhere in the contact page. You do need it linked on your site. It is going to help you with your organic search ranking by doing so. So again, keep that in mind. All of your photos that you have on your website, and you do need photos. You can't have a text-only site. I guess I should say that. I think most of you know that, but some of you might not. You don't want a text-only site. You want pictures. You want something that's going to keep them interested and engaging with them. That's why videos are good. That's why pop-ups are good. Things that they can interact with. Maybe slider buttons. We have clients that are, cleaning related or maintenance related, and they have before and afters, right? Or maybe that's good for fitness too, health coaches, right? Where you have a before and an after, and you have a slider button or something, or a quick, it goes from one to another where you could see the before and after. That's good too. Anything that's going to keep people engaged and interested, and it's going to give them good information that's going to keep their attention for 30 seconds or more. If you can get their attention for a half a minute to a minute, then they are more likely to take action. And it sounds pretty easy, right? 30 seconds goes by really quick, obviously, but your average consumer is lucky to have 10 seconds worth of attention. So this is easier said than done. Your design on your website should be ever changing based on the market changes. It should be growing over time. You should be putting in blogs, all kinds of different things. It's an ongoing process. It's not a one and done. And that's not counting all the back-end SEO keyword things. But again, that's just something to keep in mind. We can do a deep dive into that and other topics if you'd like. All right, so that's all we have for you guys today. If you have any questions, again, comment below. Hit that subscribe button. Once again, that does help us out a lot. And if you need help with your own website design, you need coaching with social media or anything else that we discussed today, give us a call at 407-334-9378. Again, that phone number is 407-334-9378. Thank you guys. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.